Hey everyone, this is Mr. Clancy, and welcome to our next lesson on the powers of the President. Today we're going to be looking at the President's power as Commander-in-Chief. And this is a power that's evolved over time, and our interpretations has changed as well. So we'll be taking a look at, how did it begin and where is it now? So the President gets their military power from Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution, which states that the President shall be Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy of the United States and of the militia of the several states. We'll be looking today at what exactly does this mean and what does this allow the President to do with the military. Traditionally, we have thought of the President as having the power of the sword when it comes to the military, and Congress as having the power of the purse when it comes to the military. This means that the President has the power to deploy and command troops, and Congress has the ability to fund and maintain the Navy and Army and Air Force, as well as declare war officially. The thought behind this system is to create a system of checks and balances so that in order to conduct a long-term war, there's going to need to be cooperation between both branches of power. The framers separated the war powers in this way because they wanted the ability for the executive to take quick and decisive action in case the country was under invasion, but they also wanted to prevent too much power from being put into one person's hand. So this system allows the president to act quickly in an emergency, but requires compromise and the consent of Congress to conduct a long-term war. So in theory, this system of checks and balances should work. The president can deploy troops and use them to defend the country when they're under invasion, but if they want to be engaged in a long war, they're going to need Congress to declare war and fund their troops. Otherwise, they will run out of resources and will be unable to continue fighting. The system of checks and balances with regards to war powers in reality has proven much more complicated. For example, Congress has not actually declared war officially since World War II. But we know that the United States has been involved in many conflicts since then. Just to name a few, we have Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan. After the Korean and Vietnam War, two wars which saw the United States involved for many years without a formal declaration of war, Congress sought to limit the power of the executive with regards to use of the military. And in 1973, they passed the War Powers Resolution. The War Powers Resolution requires the President to notify Congress within 48 hours of committing troops into conflict, and it also limits the amount of time that the President can have troops abroad fighting to 60 days, with an additional 30 days allowed for withdrawal. Now, the President can't send troops for any reason. They need to be able to justify the use of force as necessary for the defense of the nation or the nation's interests. But as you'll see in some of the research you're about to do, this can be stretched quite a ways. To get a better understanding of the President's role as Commander-in-Chief, we're going to take a look at the developing war with ISIS. With the video guide attached to this lesson, I've provided a number of resources and articles to explore this topic, and using those, I'd like you to try to answer the following three questions. Who authorized the use of troops in this particular instance, Congress or the President? What was the reason or rationale for using force? And do you think this conflict meets the requirements of the War Powers Resolution?